How do you turn a single coil into a humbucker? Or how do you turn straw into gold? Same idea. The first thing you really need to understand is a single coil will never be a humbucker. It is fundamentally a different object, okay? It doesn't have as many magnets, it doesn't work in the same way, it doesn't have the same output, there's all sorts of things. A lot of people will go, well, hey Alex, position 2 is technically humbucking. I'm like, yeah, technically it is, you're right. But there's a difference though. A humbucker works in series, while in this position 2 and 4, they work in parallel. So a series in a humbucker, it goes through one coil and then it goes into the second coil, right? It like boosts it into the second coil. While on a Strat style guitar, in positions 2 and 4, it splits and goes through both at the same time and meets up after that. It's technically humbucking when it's canceling out the hum. The whole point is like it's just a fundamentally different thing. Like, how come my car is not a horse? But don't be discouraged. That doesn't mean we can't make a Strat sound beefier, okay? When this was posed to me, someone was asking about how to make a Strat sound beefier. Another person asked, all I have is an Iridium and a Tubescreamer and I think a boost. So that's what we're going to be using here today. So we're going to be using an Iridium, a Sparkle Drive from Voodoo Labs, which is a Tubescreamer, and then an EP booster for the booster pedal. So first things first, starting off with a punch channel, okay? Okay, and that's the bridge position. Not a lot of oomph on it, so let's start adding some gain. I'm in drop D as well. Okay. Let's add some more mids and see what we can do there. And let's look at our IR. Now, this is also key. Again, this is key for any tone you're trying to get. The right IR, if you're going through an Iridium, is really important. But let's say you're going through an amp like a Blues Junior, all right? You're gonna have to mess with the EQ to get the right response you want, and you have to mess with the mic placement, right, to get the right tone. Usually, if you're going for a distorted tone, an SM57 style microphone will work perfectly, right? They've been using that for years on rock albums, so take that SM57, put it right in the middle, or maybe an inch off of center, and you'll get a pretty good tone. You'll get a good rock tone, okay? But if you're using an IR, I like to use York Audio. We're using the Marshall Dual Cab in the blend. Mix 10. Okay, so we're actually already in a good spot. Now we boosted the mids. Let's pull down the bass. Let's see what full gain gives us. A lot of treble. So let's pull on a tone on the guitar. That's a beefy tone, but again, we're not trying to make it sound like a humbucker because it will never sound like a humbucker, but it can still have some punch on it, right? I don't know if I like that. Let's add boost to this, okay? Let's just start here. Now we're talking. Listen to that. So there you go. I mean, that works with the EP booster. Again, pay attention to the EQ, pay attention to what gain's doing. When we had the gain all the way up on the Iridium, way too much treble, and it didn't have enough definition, right? It was kind of falling apart. And let's actually see even what more boost will do. Oh yeah, but I would probably pull back the gain a bit then. Okay, so that's good, but let's say you don't have a boost and you have to use a Tubescreamer style pedal. So this is where the Voodoo Labs Sparkle Drive comes in. Now this is the first version of it. The second version of it is like way better. They have all sorts of different mods. It can sound like all sorts of different Tubescreamers or even just like a cool boost pedal. This one is just the Tubescreamer sound. That's a good sound, but let's see. That's good. Now, the Tubescreamer, it adds a notch in the mids, right? That would be good as one of the guitars, but you couldn't have both guitars sounding like that. The problem is you don't want too much gain on. Look at what happens when you have too much gain. A single coil can just not work with that kind of gain structure, right? You're like just losing definition. The mids are getting really crowded. Pull the gain back because you already have. Again, this is with. It's a good starting tone. What you're looking to add there is a little bit of bottom end. And to add a little bit of gain on top of that. Not a lot of gain. And again, you gotta pull down your tone. See that? Really, you're not getting enough oomph there, right? Now you're getting that percussion. They also make humbuckers in Strat style pickups. So if you really, really need a humbucker sound, get a Hot Rails, I think is what they call them. Seymour Duncan makes them. Everyone makes them. I'll put some options below that I've worked with. This is a track that I did using just this guitar to create a pop punk kind of sound. Drop D, lots of open strumming, and then some like picked lines too. So I had like a kind of a range of dynamics and attack. And I think it worked great. Listen to this. So here's those two tones I use. This is with the sparkle drive. Just so you know how close we got, this is a humbucker. So, does it sound exactly like a humbucker? No, but does it pass like a rock test? Absolutely, okay? So, don't compare it to something that it's not. Compare it against what you're going for in your head and your ears, right? What are you hearing? What are you going for? What's your goal when you're writing and or playing? You can get it. Single coils can sound beefy. If you want to learn more about the Strymon Iridium, here's a playlist of all the Strymon Iridium videos. Thanks.